Hey guys, Personal Defense, and I picked up yet another Smith & Wesson Model 19 that we're looking at right here, and I decided I was going to make a video for no particular reason other than just showing my favorite handgun of all time. So what we're looking at here is a Smith & Wesson Model 19. Let me open it up here to show you it's empty. And this is a Model 19-3. And a couple of reasons this particular firearm is my favorite of all time. Number one, I'm a revolver fan, and also I don't think it gets any better than a revolver as far as a defensive handgun. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that. Yeah, you only have 6 rounds, but you have 6 rounds of .357 Magnum in here. You can carry, 38 Special, 38 plus P, .357, 357 Buffalo Bore. I also have some .357. They're called bear loads, and they're basically wad cutters, 180 grain wad cutters. These older Smith & Wessons are built much better, in my opinion, than the newer ones. I've fired a couple new Smith & Wesson revolvers, and it sounds cliche, but they really don't build them like they used to. Back when this was built, late 50s, early 60s, I think this one actually was built in 1962, 63. It's back when they actually did stuff by hand. Machines weren't pumping these out over and over and over. This one has seen some wear, got some wear on the cylinder and some wear on the muzzle there. However, I still think this is a beautiful, beautiful firearm. It's got the case hardened trigger, and it also has the case hardened hammer, which looked great against the bluish finish. Another thing is the way they blue stuff nowadays isn't how they used to blue it back then. Nothing beats an old revolver like this, in my opinion. These grips came with the revolver. I believe them to be the grips that actually came with this revolver. They aren't in perfect condition. They're a little beat up, much like the revolver is. They could use some refinishing. So could the revolver, I guess. However, I think it adds to the character of the revolver. I love the shrouded ejection rod, and this particular model has the target sights in the rear and the big front ramp sight. Not like the Model 10, which is more of a carry gun. This is, well, I guess, not really a target revolver, but I guess you could call it a service revolver. Trigger pull on these older revolvers is amazing compared to trigger pull on something new. Yes, it is a revolver trigger. You have a long trigger pull. It's nice and smooth. You always hear about when you hear about good revolvers, you hear about the Colt Python. I would put this revolver up against Colt Python any day of the week. The Colt Python has a full-length underlug, which Smith & Wesson 686 or something like that has a full length. I really like the way these look with the sort of half shrouded underlug there. Another good thing about these older Smith & Wessons, the 357s, is they have the recessed chambers in the cylinder there. I don't know if you can see it, probably. I have a round right here. You can see it sits flush with the cylinder there. The newer ones or the 38s kind of sit like that. This one sits flush. From what I've heard, that actually increases the pressure that these fire at. The one thing I think the Colt Python has over this is the shape of the hammer. The Python hammer has a nice long swooping spur, where this kind of has a shorty. It's still got a little swoop to it, but it's a little short spur. I've seen Model 27s, which I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, are 8-shot 357s. They seem to have a hammer like that, as well as Model 29. I believe those are called the target hammers. Big, long, swooping spur, lots of texture on it. Also, the trigger, the target trigger, is a little bit wider than this one. You can see this one has some texture on it. The Model 10 trigger is just a smooth trigger, and I believe the Model 10 hammer looks like this. I'm not sure if it has a spur like this, but you know, I don't think it gets any better than this as far as handguns. If you guys were wondering, my end of days gun, my open carry gun, my whatever gun would be this 357 revolver. I trust this thing completely. I trust it over a Glock. I trust it over everything. You know, we could go on and on and on about why a revolver is more reliable than a semi-auto. I'm not going to do that. I just kind of wanted to show off my Model 19 that I picked up. I love the look of a blued Model 19 with the underlug like that. Painted the front ramp red so you can get a better sight picture, but you can see it does have a lot of wear on it. I think that adds to the character of it. It's been shot a lot. These older revolvers, you can actually adjust the trigger pull on them. There's a screw right here underneath the grip, so you got to be careful with adjusting that. You can lighten it up pretty good, but when you do that, you also affect the way how hard the hammer hits the round, and sometimes you'll get a real light primer strike. So it's a real good balance between trigger pull and lightness of the trigger and everything. Pulling this trigger back, it's not real light, but it's a nice light trigger compared to other ones. That Taurus 608 I had, the Ruger, the 44 mag, the Alaskan. I've fired a Ruger SP 101, a GP 101. Nothing compares to this trigger. All you Python lovers, sorry, man. And you know, I was looking at a gun shop the other day. He had a couple Pythons. He wanted $3,800 for a Python. I remember, you know, just a couple years ago, those things were $1,500. But also these older ones, you can tell the older ones, they have a pinned barrel. You can see the pin there holding the barrel in. Just wanted to show you guys my favorite weapon, handgun, I guess I should say. What do you guys like? Let me know in the comments. Send a video response. Thanks for watching.